And off we go on a Sunday night. Hi there, Carson Meredith with you. It is June 8th, 7:01 p.m. I hope you've had a good Sunday. Hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed the dry weather that we've had for much of the afternoon. A lot of you stayed dry all day. If you're watching us down in Southern Kentucky, you had a few showers hang around, but it's all quiet for now. We've got another round of storms to talk about tomorrow. I went ahead and flagged tomorrow as an alert day. Again, surprise, surprise, the way this year has gone. And it's not a huge severe threat tomorrow either, but there is that chance for a few strong storms during the afternoon on Monday. So we're going to look at that. We'll talk about some quieter weather for part of the work week. And then we'll talk about more active weather for next weekend, because it seems always the active weather happens on weekends, but it's just the way it goes. All right, let me get you outside tonight. Start things off here in downtown Louisville. Good bit of sunshine the last few hours. Those clouds are still out there, but not too bad. Not too bad. It is still a little muggy, though. So this first cold front that went through today, obviously it didn't really cool us down a whole lot. And most cold fronts don't this time of year, but it really didn't help lower the humidity either. It's the cold front that moves through tomorrow that's going to give us a break in that humidity. And it's also the cold front that's going to give us another threat for strong storms. It has been breezy, though, since today's cold front went through. We're at 81 still here in Louisville. That is our high for the day. That wind's still at around 15 miles per hour. I've seen some gusts today around 23 miles an hour. I think that's the peak gust I saw here in Louisville. So certainly a breezy day, but it kind of keeps the air mixed up a little bit so it doesn't feel too sticky outside. Even so, the dew points remain in the 60s, so that humidity is certainly still with us. This evening, radar is quiet. Isn't it nice? We're going to keep things pretty quiet this evening for sure. And a lot of you stay quiet overnight tonight as well. It's going to be sunrise tomorrow when we'll likely start to be seeing our next front moving in, and at least some showers, maybe some thunder right out of the gate in the morning. But it's later in the afternoon when some of those storms could get a little rocky. Big picture view looks like this. We are literally sandwiched in between two systems. The first system that brought us the spinning showers last night, it continues to push off to the east. You still see a few lingering showers there in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. A few severe thunderstorm warnings in Virginia tonight. A lot of rain up in Pennsylvania and New York this evening. So that system continues to get a move on to the east. Here comes the next troublemaker. This front stretches all the way up into Canada, down through Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and beyond. In fact, since we got a little time here, look at this mess in Oklahoma tonight. Ooh, boy. Any basketball fans out there? The NBA Finals are going on tonight in Oklahoma City. I think that game starts here in about an hour, if I remember right. And we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for Oklahoma City as we speak. So hopefully those fans are getting in that arena quickly here in the next few minutes. But this could actually wind up being, unfortunately, the beginning stage of a very significant wind event down in the plains tonight across Oklahoma and Texas. In fact, I'll pop up the severe weather risk out there. And you still see a moderate risk for the Red River Valley, southern Oklahoma, North Texas. So we're looking at potentially winds over 70, 80, maybe even 90 miles an hour tonight out that way. So Yeah, rough night out in the plains for sure, but we do not have to worry about that type of extreme weather, fortunately. Nonetheless, this front is going to move through our area on Monday. The northern flank of it, obviously, what you're seeing out near Chicago and St. Louis and Kansas City tonight. But it's going to take its sweet time getting here. So that's why we're good tonight. We're not really going to see any trouble with this system until tomorrow at sunrise at the earliest. And even then, it would likely just be rain with some thunder to start things off on Monday. So again, tonight's fine. Mid-60s. 20% chance for those showers very late. By very late, I mean 4, 5, 6 a.m. Okay, so a lot of you are going to stay quiet overnight tonight. Here's the alert day info. This is mainly an afternoon issue on Monday. Between noon and 6. If you were watching our morning newscast today, I had the original timing as 10 to 4, but the models have kind of slowed down this front even more by about an hour or two today. So we'll say between noon and 6 is our current alert window timing. During that time, there's going to be additional thunderstorms that fire up right as the cold front's moving through. So the front's not moving through at a very good time of day because it's moving through during the warmest part of the day, when the storm fuel, when the instability is going to be at its highest. So that'll allow those storms to pop pretty quickly tomorrow afternoon. And that's also where that risk for damaging wind gusts will come into play. And that's the main severe weather concern that we're looking at tomorrow. There could also be a little hail. We haven't really talked about that this weekend. We didn't talk about it yesterday because it was so warm above our heads, but the atmosphere is going to be just a smidge cooler aloft tomorrow, so there might be some hail in the mix as well. I don't think we're talking golf ball size hail or anything like that. Maybe, dimes, nickels, maybe even quarter size hail here or there. And this is mainly a severe weather threat and mainly an alert day for those of you south of Louisville. If you're in southern Indiana, you're going to see some rain in the morning, perhaps hear some thunder, but there's not much of a severe threat in Indiana tomorrow. This is a Kentucky alert day for the most part. More specifically, Kentucky south of Louisville, okay? So gusty winds, the main severe hazard, perhaps some hail, and obviously this time of year, you're going to have heavy rain and lightning with any thunderstorms that will develop, okay? So here's the severe weather risk map from the SPC, and you see what I'm talking about, why this is what I'm calling it a Kentucky alert day. Southern Indiana, you guys aren't even, a lot of you aren't even in a severe risk at all. Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon, Paoli, Salem, Scottsburg, Jasper, there's no severe weather threat right now. Now, there will be some rain, especially early in the day in Indiana. There will be some thunder, but there's not a severe threat in southern Indiana for the most part. Along the Ohio River, you see that's a marginal risk. In green, that's a level 1 on the 1 to 5 severe weather scale, which means the severe threat for Louisville is pretty low. It's not 0, but it's pretty low. The main focus and the main reason why we had the alert day is for our southeastern counties, basically. So Franklin County, Spencer, Nelson, LaRue County, points south and east. So Frankfort, Taylorsville, Nelson County, LaRue, Hart, Greene, Taylor, Adair, Marion, and Washington counties in Kentucky. You live in any of those counties, you got the level 2 slight risk for severe weather tomorrow afternoon. So it's not a huge outbreak. It's nothing like we've had back in March and April and even into May. But there's going to be a few of those stronger storms that could have some damaging wind gusts with them in addition to the very heavy rain. And maybe a little bit of hail as well. So that's kind of the right out of the gate view of what we're looking at for your Monday. Let's go to the comments. Let's see, Crispy Brisket on YouTube. How you doing? Hope all's well. Anita says hi. A nice day today. Indeed it was. Once we got those showers out of here. Sean says hello from Ponderosa. Kentucky, not the restaurant. Are do those restaurants even exist anymore? Anyway, hope you're well, Sean. Storm Chaser Jason checking in. Hello, hello. Angela says hi. Scott's asking about the tornado chance tomorrow. It's extremely low. I'm talking 2% or less. The tornado risk is very, very low on Monday. Don't have to worry about that too terribly much. Let's see. Weather Geek says hi. Tina, alert days are no longer a surprise. I know. It seems like we have a lot of them, but guys, we have a very set, strict criteria for flagging alert days because we don't want to have an alert day because it's raining. And that's a hill I'm willing to die on. We issue these when there is weather that could be not only impactful, but dangerous. And that's it. So, I get it. There's been a ton. We're exhausted in the weather office because it's been such an insane year so far. But unfortunately, Mother Nature just wants to keep throwing nonsense at us, Tina. So I get it. Alert days, there's been a lot of them. That's for sure. Sean's excited about the Cards going to Omaha. We'll be watching that forecast for sure as we get towards the end of the week. I think the World Series starts on Thursday. The schedule's not out yet, but we'll let you know when they play. See, Weather Geek says hi. Let's see. I would just like the storms to be not during the overnight on the weekend, and I'm sure you would too. Yes. My nap last night was interrupted probably a dozen times because I felt like I needed to check the radar every 10 minutes. That's okay. That's part of the job. That is part of it. Tina appreciates the alert day notices so you can prepare the fur babies. Yep. Got to take care of those pups and cats and whatever creatures you might have. But we're all tired of this weather. That is for sure. That is for sure. All right. So more comments in a minute. Let's break down those storm chances a little more tomorrow. The peak of the storm chances in general tomorrow is early afternoon, like noon to 3. Okay, 60% chance around that time. Before then, there will be some rain and thunder, especially in Indiana, likely not severe. And after that, notice those storm chances drop off fairly quickly because this cold front is moving at a decent clip once it gets here. It's not moving fast tonight. It will be tomorrow. And the alert day window is pretty narrow, noon to 6 p.m. So, a lot of times we have these all day unending severe weather events. This is not going to be that scenario tomorrow. It's a very short 6-hour window where we could have a few severe storms, mainly in Kentucky. As we go into the overnight hours, Monday night, we're dry, mostly dry. Just a 10% chance for maybe a rogue shower Monday night. That's it. So I'll let you digest that, and I'll scan through the comments one more time. Let's see. Sandra's watching us in Hart County. Hello, hello. Where are the rain and storms and the wind hitting? So, yeah, again, you guys down in Hart County, you might have a few stronger storms between, as you see on this graphic, between noon and 6 p.m. tomorrow. Noon and 6 p.m. for Hart County and for everybody, really, but especially for you guys down in southern Kentucky, that risk is a little higher. Brandon, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Shonda says hello. Hope you're good, Shonda. Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you've been hiding. I haven't just seen your comments lately, but hope all's good. Let's see. Reagan, good evening. Me and the wife watch you daily because you help ease my storm anxiety. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Reagan. I appreciate that. I do not do this job to scare people. Some people in this city might do that. I don't. My job is to inform you and to keep you safe. So, Reagan, if I'm able to ease that anxiety, then that means we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be here at Wave. So thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's see. Doug, what time for Greene County? Again, this graphic that I'm showing you, it covers everybody really. So for Greene County, I'd still say that noon to 6 p.m. window for you guys as well, for when you could see those stronger storms on Monday. And again, you guys down in Hart, Greene County, Taylor, Adair, that's where that risk for those severe storms is a smidge higher compared to everybody else. Let's see. Crystal says hello. Beautiful day indeed. Kelly has the question that we all want answered. Are we ever going to get out of this rainy, stormy weather and have nice weather for more than a few days at a time? Well, the problem, Kelly, is we're going into summer. And that usually means at least some sort of storm chances nearly every day, like 8 days out of 10, if we're lucky. And I will tell you guys, we get towards next weekend, I'll show you the 10-day when we wrap up tonight. Father's Day weekend looks messy. I don't think it's necessarily severe messy right now. There's no alert days for next weekend, but we're going to have to watch it because the storm chances will certainly return in a big way next weekend, which is no good. Let's see. Sean, a couple of questions. Tornado in Seymour the other day. What was that? Friday evening, there was a funnel cloud with a particular storm. I think that was happening while I was sleeping because I had to work Saturday morning. But there was a few photos of a funnel cloud near Seymour. There was never a touchdown, though. The second question, which race did I go to? I was down in Nashville last weekend. So it was a good time. It was a good time. By the way, going back to the tornado discussion, right before we started tonight, the Weather Service in Paducah confirmed 3 tornadoes in their area last night. 2 of them were in Missouri. One of them was in Spencer County, Indiana. It might have been Ward County, but it was nearby. If you were watching us last night, before that E-Town cell got going, there was another one that had a tornado warning with it out near Holiday World. And those were literally rain showers or downpours that were spinning, that were rotating. And sure enough, there was a very brief, very weak tornado that touched down and ran through a field and knocked down some trees not too far away from us. So last night was certainly bizarre. You don't get land spouts around wave country very often, and we almost had some last night. Brandon, is Wave going to be at the fair this year? I'm sure we will be. We don't know when or where or how, but I'm sure we will be in August. Yeah. All right. All right. So everybody's good in the comments. Let's go to Futurecast for tomorrow. Hopefully you got the good idea that noon to 6 is that window we're watching for severe storms on Monday. But even before noon, there's going to be some rain and thunder, especially in southern Indiana. You notice this on Futurecast. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. So Tawana Andrews is going to be in the morning tracking these downpours for you on sunrise. And you see some of this rain could arrive as early as sunrise, especially west of Louisville. We'll have to watch that for any potential impacts to the morning drive. I think a lot of the rain holds off until after the morning commute here in Louisville, like after 9 o'clock. So we'll start off with some of this rain and thunder, mainly in southern Indiana tomorrow morning. And there's been good consistency, and I've kind of seen that trend tonight looking at radar off to our west, where these downpours try to keep pushing south and east, but they get chewed up, basically. So as you get towards 10 a.m., a few downpours along the Ohio River, including here in Louisville, but nothing severe at this point because the cold front is still a little further to the north and west. The front's not giving those downpours a kick to be a little stronger. That happens as we get into the afternoon. Here we go. This is 1 p.m. That front's knocking on the door of Louisville. And you can also tell where the main zone we're watching is when you look at the temperatures on this map, okay? Here in Louisville at 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, this forecast model has us around 70 degrees, while further to the south, Mumfordville, Greene County, Lebanon, Campbellsville, we're in the upper 70s to near 80. So there's going to be better opportunity for destabilization, or in other words, more storm fuel down in our southern counties tomorrow afternoon. So this is 1 o'clock. These storms are starting to get their act together along this front. Here's 3 p.m. And you look at it and it doesn't look, it doesn't look insane. But some of those embedded heavy thunderstorms could have some damaging wind gust. There's just enough shear to where we could have some of those wind gusts tomorrow around 50, 60 miles per hour. I think we're looking at maybe a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings tomorrow afternoon in Kentucky. Indiana, I think you guys are just going to see rain. I truly do. And Louisville will be right on the dividing line. It depends on how fast or slow this front does indeed move through. So we get into 3 o'clock. Our main focus really by that point is our Kentucky counties, basically from Frankfort down to Shelbyville, Bardstown, E-Town, Litchfield, so on and so forth. Keep going. This is 5 o'clock here in Louisville. We're done with not only the storms, but likely the rain by 5 o'clock. So this isn't even going to be an issue for the evening ride home in the metro tomorrow. This is a very quick moving front. Once it finally gets here, it's going to speed up and get out of here quick. So by 5 o'clock, I think we're done with the rain, let alone any storms here in the metro. But there may still be some mischief happening down in our far southeastern counties at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Damaging wind gusts, the main severe threat, heavy rain and lightning for sure. As we get past 6 o'clock, the front's gone. And we're going to dry things out. And once that front moves through, we will also have some much more comfortable air settling in, at least for a couple days. Which in June, July, and August, you'll take whatever breaks in that humidity and yucky feel that you can get, right? Speaking of, here's our humidity Futurecast, if you will. The green color, that means it's soupy. You can feel it. As you step outside, it's not miserable. It's not instant sweat, but it's a little sweat. But as that front moves through tomorrow, look at all that blue. Look at all that blue. That is very comfortable air settling in. Tuesday, guys, might be the nicest day we have for a long time. Okay? I'm talking highs in the 70s to near 80 and very little in the way of humidity on Tuesday once this Monday front gets out of here. But you notice heading into Wednesday, all right, that humidity's still in check. It's pretty low. It'll be warmer on Wednesday. That's the big difference. It may not be quite as humid on Wednesday, but it's going to be a tiny bit warmer in the mid-80s for most of us. And then as we get into Thursday, it was nice while it lasted. Here comes that air you can wear. That nastiness, that muggy meter will start to go up again. Instead of the blues and the greens, we'll have the yellows and the oranges. And you guys know the drill when we're talking about this very humid air mass that we always deal with this time of year. That means the return of stormy weather. And here comes the 10-day. Oh, boy. Starting on Friday, with that influx of moisture coming back in from the south, those thunderstorm chances will start to climb again. I think on Friday, we're looking at a classic summer day where we have scattered showers and storms, not much of a severe threat. Those storms that drop buckets and buckets of rain for a half hour and then they fade away or move out. But as we get into Father's Day weekend, there will likely be more support in the upper levels of the atmosphere for widespread thunderstorms, similar to what we had yesterday, except I think we'll have more storms as opposed to just rain for this upcoming weekend. As far as severe weather, as far as alert days or anything like that, it's just too early to say. I don't see a signal that screams severe weather next weekend, but I can't rule it out. You guys know this time of year, any of these storms can go severe quickly, but may only have gusty winds for 10 minutes and then they collapse. So we'll wait and see. That we'll kind of have to trend that over the next few days. But the big headline long term is things get active again heading into Father's Day weekend. And you notice as we go into the following week after Father's Day, the storms are still around, still scattered. And it also stays pretty warm. The coolest day is tomorrow in the mid-70s. The nicest day is Tuesday at 82. Then we get back into the mid and upper 80s, and we just kind of hover there for quite some time, despite those storm chances. So we're really about to settle into a typical June weather pattern here, especially by the end of the work week and into next weekend. All right. What questions do we have, friends? Any? Hopefully I covered everything well, so it makes sense. And right now, like I said, the only alert day is for tomorrow afternoon, but we'll watch the trends carefully for next weekend too, since I know a lot of you will be making plans to celebrate the Pops next weekend. Let's see here. Nikki on YouTube, good question. Hello, hello. It was a beautiful day, wasn't it? Will the storms be around all day tomorrow or just the afternoon and evening? For most of us, it'll just be the afternoon. There may be some rain in Indiana in the morning, but for most of us, I think we're looking at the afternoon for when that rain will stick around. Tomorrow evening, we're going to dry things out pretty quick. So not an all-day washout tomorrow. Just need to be aware from noon to 6 p.m. for a few severe storms in Kentucky, especially. ZK, hello, hello. Are we going to miss out on summer days this year? No. We're going to have some heat. Intense heat, I'm sure. We always do. At least at some point in the summer. It's just a little behind schedule. You know, we've only had one 90-degree day so far. We're going to be knocking on the door of 90 several times by the end of the week and into the following week. But I don't see at this point a big-time heat wave yet. That it might be a while before we get a big old heat wave coming in here. So we'll wait and see. It'll happen. It'll happen. We'll have 90s, maybe close to 100. We'll start getting heat advisories and heat warnings again. But not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. Anita, I love where your mind is at. 107 days till fall. Yes. Yes. I know people are going to get mad at me because it's not even summer yet. If you guys love summer, great. Everybody has a right to enjoy whatever season they like and whatever they want to enjoy in life. But I cannot stand summer. I cannot stand it. I am so ready for fall, just like Anita is. Thank you. Let's see. Daniel has a good question on Facebook. How far out do alert days usually take? Like, when's the earliest to issue one? We do not issue them beyond 10 days minimum. Like, that is the absolute rule. Like, beyond 10 days, off limits. Because there's so much uncertainty beyond 10 days, right? But it truly depends on the setup. You know, we kind of challenged ourselves in the last year to give you guys an even earlier alert than we already do. We made some little tweaks to how we go about alert days and issuing them. because we wanted to give you more of an alert than we already did. And we've had a lot of storms this year, a lot of setups, to where we've been able to give you guys an alert 7 days in advance. I mean, there's been so many this year, but I know for a fact we've had multiple alert days where we gave you a heads up 6 or 7 days out. You go back to the winter, the huge ice storm we had in January, we gave you 6 days notice, I think. I'd have to go back and look, but we keep the alert day focus within our 10-day that you're seeing on the screen right now. Sometimes we can give you that heads up 6-7 days in advance. Sometimes, like in the case of tomorrow, we can't give you as much of a heads up, but we still give you a heads up, right? We still do. It may only be 48 hours, though, instead of 7 days. So it's kind of flexible as to when they get called, how they get called, who calls them. But we usually do not issue any alert days beyond 10 days. I can tell you that. Most I've ever seen since I've been here, I think, was 7 or 8 days. And if we can give you guys that earliest alert at least 5 to 7 days in advance, that's great. But sometimes we can't. We all know Mother Nature is going to do whatever she wants to do, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Stephanie, so mainly gusty winds. Yeah, that's the main concern tomorrow. Not everybody's going to see severe weather, okay? Not everybody's going to see severe weather, but if we do have severe storms, it would likely be for those damaging wind gusts, 50, maybe 60 miles an hour. Ava, I've got canoeing and camping plans this weekend. Should I plan on canceling them? No, not yet. Not yet. It's too early. You know, a lot of times this time of year, you look at a forecast a week out and it looks like a horrible washout. But then you get more high resolution, more detailed data as you get closer, and it doesn't look as bad. So, you know, don't cancel those plans yet, Ava. Not yet. Just kind of pay attention to the forecast this week. Brian's going to be on the Storm Talk blog, as you guys know, every day. So we'll be able to fine-tune those details a lot more in the days ahead. But don't cancel those plans just yet, Ava. Or if any of you have outdoor plans next weekend, don't cancel them just yet. Good question. There's a Bots fan. Paula says, I will take snow over this weather. It'll be here soon enough. All right, guys. So I think we're all good. And that means we're going to wrap this chat up tonight. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Wherever you watch us, be it here on the digital side of things, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, Twitch, YouTube. A lot of you guys watch on YouTube now. We're really going to start hitting that YouTube platform pretty hard here in the coming months, I'm sure. But if you're still old school and you like watching the old school news, the old school weather, I'll be on tonight for Wave News at 11. And the rest of the crew will be here all week, getting you through that alert day tomorrow. Nothing to panic about tomorrow. Just be aware, especially if you live in Kentucky. And then we can enjoy some nice weather for a few days before that stormy nonsense comes back heading into next weekend. All right, y'all. That's it for tonight. Appreciate you watching. You can see me again on TV tonight at 11. If not, I will see you again next weekend. Take care.